Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Live with Joe and Cody. I was just about to say venture with Joe and Cody. We get confused on all of that stuff. And also what
Yes,
I just noticed was my eyeglasses are like super like I'm such a nerd, but they're like reflecting every light into
you
my
are.
like can you see it? Can you
I
see
can
my
see it.
eyes or is it just the reflections?
I can see my
Should I take them
reflection.
off? I feel like if I take them off I just
No,
won't be able to see like
no.
no,
You
I'm
look
going to keep
you
them.
look so much smarter with them on.
I know. I look smarter and I actually can see. So it serves two purposes that people think I actually am legit and I can see.
Wow.
Sometimes I go without them
So
with
they're
you
real.
and I can't actually like I'll take notes as you're typing because I'm a nerd and I'm like, "Oh, I want to ask him about this." Just probably like all of our fans do is take notes to find out like more of what Cody can give us. But I
Absolutely.
do and I'm like I just can't see when I'm typing. I'm like, "Okay." I do that with the podcast too and I'm like I don't want to wear the glasses because our lights and things like that, but it just I have to have maybe contacts, but they just
Hey,
by the end of the day, I get so irritated by them. But anyways,
yeah, I struggle with glasses. I can see fine. I just can't see far away very
yeah,
good. So it doesn't really impact my day to day, but I try to wear my glasses
yeah.
and it gives me a headache. So I know I have
You
to
may look
probably
smarter
like,
though. You know,
well, I might.
are they
I
hip and cool, or are they just like true nerd ones?
Oh, they are so cool. Like, I
I've had these for
mean,
like 2 years, and I need to get new ones. I need to, so maybe I'll need your help with
yeah,
the
I'll just
design,
try yours.
to kind of look trendy and cool. So
Yeah. Well,
maybe
mine are so cool, I don't even wear
anti-reflective,
them
so
out.
everything doesn't reflect in my face.
I feel like such an old man. Like, we'll be at home and we're watching TV, or I'm like squinting. I put my glasses on. I'm like, oh, this is so nice. I
I
can
know.
see.
I'm starting to get like the wrinkle from squinting so much at the
Yeah,
TV. So I have
dude.
to do it. Everyone's like, my
I,
son's like, "Are you mad?" I'm like, "No, I'm trying to just watch what's
I'm
on the
just trying
TV.
to
I'm trying to
see.
see the score."
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
reading
He's
the
like, "You
bottom
look
line. I'm
angry."
like, nope, can't see it. Hey, Eli, what does the score say right there?
Soon it's going to be the lights at the flashlight on your phone on the menus at these trendy
Yes.
restaurants that are so dark. We're going to have that going on. So
Oh
that'll be
man,
cool.
I was talking to somebody the other day about their eyes, and he's like, "Yeah, I have to like for some things, I have to like pull my phone out, like the camera
Yeah,
view, and then
yeah.
I zoom in so that I can read it."
I
Like,
love
oh,
it.
that's
I
one
love
way
it,
to do it.
man. Oh man. Well, as cool as all of this is, talking about our
Yes,
nerddom, is anything cool going on in the industry? You mentioned a very nerdy topic to me before we started recording. I'm
yes.
sure everyone's on the edge of their seat with it, but it is interesting, especially
You
if you're
know,
someone that has a roommate and wants to use income. So go for it.
yeah. So it doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while, I do get people that ask, like, "Hey, well, I've got a friend that lives with me. Can I use that rent for income?" And yes, you can. So they call that border income. Um, and in the guidelines, it is pretty specific. So depending on your situation, it can't be like if you had an ADU, so like say you had a tiny home on your property, that is you're not going to be able to get border income from that. That's going to be like traditional rental income. And so that's going to need a 2-year history for that. But if you have border income, so you have a roommate that pays you the money and then you're the one that pays the landlord, you can count that income after just 12 months now. So it used to be 24 months, but you can count it after 12 months. And the way that we have to document that is we have to get like a copy of some form of lease agreement. We need to get like pay stubs, or not pay stubs, but like canceled checks or copies of checks, check stubs, bank statements, something that just shows that you have been renting that out for at least 9 of the last 12 months. So, and then if so, you can use that as income for qualifying income for purchasing a home.
Oh,
So
cool.
most of the time people don't realistically document it, they don't put it on their taxes. It's or they have a roommate, but they split the rent. So it really does have to kind of be set up in a way where you're the one on the lease and you're kind of like subleasing out a room, and so they pay you, so that's technically income for you rather than just splitting the rent
I see.
between a few people. That it might not sound like it's a big deal, and I know for a lot of people it's probably not because they don't have that situation. But for those that do, it makes it a lot easier to be able to use that income, because even if it's only say $500 a month, that could be the difference between qualifying for what you're looking for, and especially like the ideal situation is if you are planning to buy a home and put that roommate in that house again. Um, because then you know it's going to continue. So yeah, it is kind of a nerdy thing. There's a lot of guidelines that are just kind of nerdy that are not like super intriguing for probably 99% of the
Yeah.
people. But then you do get those ones where they're like, oh yeah. And the cool thing too is you don't have to own that home that you're collecting the rental income from. It can be on a rental that you're in. Might not necessarily be considered as income for you
Yeah.
personally, but
But
it
for
is
mortgage. Yeah.
for our side of it, which is great because most of the time it's like the lending side of it always finds ways to prove that you don't make that income consistently. So for them to actually kind of like bring it back a little bit, and make it slightly easier for people to use that income, that's always a good thing because honestly, there are so many times where you can just tell, like anybody can look at it and say, okay, this is income, right? But because it's not consistent
Yeah.
enough and
Yeah.
because it's not reliable enough, then it gets looked at like, well, no, we can't really guarantee that it's going to last. But like they've been doing this for 5 years, and yeah, it's inconsistent, but still they're getting money from it. So
Yeah. So annoying. You
the
lenders.
beauty of lending.
You lenders. Well, what's
I
on a
know.
random tangent, like not a real random tangent, but what's do you guys do stated income like for rental, stated rental income for some loans that you have?
Yeah, we do. So like
Okay.
a DSCR is debt. No, I don't remember the acronym. Debt
Just
something.
make it up. Just
Debt
that.
credit service
Yeah.
ratio. There it
There we
is.
go. There we go.
I was going to say debt consolidation, but no, that's not right. Yeah, so you can use essentially stated rent income, for that type of loan, and that one's actually really cool. That one is much more of an investor specific, somebody that is just buying homes to rent them out.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, you can purchase it, and the only income that is being counted qualified is the proposed rent for that property. And as long as there's enough, as long as you're putting enough down to where the payment offsets the mortgage enough, we don't even have to count, we don't even have to look at your taxes or your pay stubs or anything. So it's a great investor one. Um, but for the
Nice.
average person, yeah, it's mostly traditional income calculated, W-2s, pay stubs, taxes, things like that.
Sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's
What's
interesting,
new on
man.
your end? Anything?
Not nothing. It's starting to pick up. Like buyers and sellers are starting to talk about the spring and starting to get things. We've got a few listings that are coming up that are going to get ready for spring that want to list in March
Hmm.
and April, some in February. So yeah, things are starting to pick up after the January slow,
Yeah.
normally slow time. And yeah, I got a video coming out. So there's a new development. Well, it's not a new development. Frog Pond over in Wilsonville has continuing to build new homes over there. There's been 3 traditional builders there. There's one coming in. They're actually from Japan. And they're going to build
Oh
some
wow.
homes there. So I'm doing a video on that that'll come out here soon. So go to my YouTube
Nice.
page and
Are
check
you
it
gonna
out.
be are you gonna be just highlighting the new development? Or are you a part of, are you gonna be listing?
I wish I was a part of it. That's maybe the goal, to get in there to list them. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been talking with the builder and the builder's agent there, so they've already got a rep there. But yeah, they're super
Okay.
cool. Just kind of a unique type of build. It's a Japanese, like they use this IQ, I think it's called iCube technology, like make it
Mm.
soundproof. Like it's
Oh,
crazy.
nice.
So it should be pretty cool. But 22 homes coming up around Frog Pond, so I'm going to do a video highlighting that. So I'm going to get some drone footage and things like that for
Ooh.
it. So it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool.
Have you invested in your own drone yet?
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
have.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's actually like a
That's
really
probably kind of
cool
fun.
thing. It's a lot of fun, and it's a nicer one, so I don't have to, like the little kid ones, you're always
Yeah.
trying to adjust it so it's not running into a wall. This one you
Right.
can just leave there. It's crazy. Like you just
Oh, really?
bring it up, leave it there. You can tell it to come and land at the place that you took off at. Like it's pretty
Really?
impressive. It's got
You think you could
avoidance
fly
stuff.
that bad boy up here?
I don't know. I don't know. I could try.
We do a
You're
little
you're
live
supposed to
stream
have
of just.
visual you're supposed to have visual sight of it at all times.
Oh, okay.
So I would never violate that.
Well, of
Never.
course. But it would be a cool
It would be
like
cool.
intro into our live stream, like
Yeah, it would be cool. Like it's
flying up
coming
from
into the
Wilsonville.
building and then through the door into each
Yeah.
of our offices. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
saw,
there's always room for future development for us.
right?
So
Dude, have you seen some of those drone? I don't know if they still do it or what, but I remember a handful of years ago, it was one of those like late night ESPN turn it on, and they were doing like these drone obstacle
oh
course
yeah, yeah,
races
yeah,
where they go
yeah,
through this warehouse.
yeah.
Man, those guys are good.
It is. It's pretty impressive, especially when you've controlled one. Like, it's not like it's rocket science to control these things now, but yeah, I'm super nervous about it. Like, I'm very overly careful with it because I just don't, I don't want to run into some random
Yeah.
tree or something like that. But
Right.
yeah, it's been fun. It's been a fun
That's
little
kind of
thing.
cool.
So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make that
Wow.
video here soon, and that'll be coming out. But other than that, man, yeah, just getting ready for the spring. Like I'm
Hmm.
just like I said, everyone's picking up. Everyone's starting to like get motivated to get buying and selling. So that's a good thing.
Well,
Good thing for
it's funny
business.
because yeah, it feels like time just flies by anymore, and it feels like we were just in the Thanksgiving,
I know.
Christmas, and now like we're getting closer to the end of
I
January, and
know.
it really does start to ramp up quickly with that spring buying season and
Yeah.
people starting to get their houses ready. So I can
Yeah.
imagine how, it's like you really got to get on it, packing up a house and getting it ready and staging it and cleaning it and doing everything. That it's not something you can just do over the weekend.
I know when I was telling you the other day or the other times we've talked is like just looking at homes casually, like kind of looking.
Hmm.
You kind of go back into your house and think, man, if I have to list this thing, what has to be done? And it's like
Right?
you realize you start to nitpick what your kids have done to it
Oh
and
yeah.
how much damage they've done to it. And you're like,
Right.
oh my, this is what I talk to people about all the time. And now I'm that
Yeah.
guy that has to consider that. And so, yeah,
Right.
it's a lot, man. It's a lot.
It
So
is a
get
lot.
prepping now. Get prepping if you're going to buy, get prepped to buy. And if you're prepping to sell, now's the time to start getting
Yeah.
those chores done before you panic
Yeah.
in the spring. So,
Well, especially if you're a DIYer like
oh yeah.
myself, I leave lots of projects unfinished and they're, like, oh, I'm going to get to that this summer. I'll do
Yeah.
that. And then the next thing you know, we
Yeah,
ran
but
into
you're
that
not a
when,
DIYer. You can't even say that you're a DIYer. You're like a legit contractor. So
yeah,
I'm a
but it's,
DIYer. I'm the 45 trips to Home Depot after watching a YouTube video on how to replace something, and it looks so easy.
they
You
always
actually
make it
know what
look
you're
easy.
doing. Like,
But I still will leave projects
yeah, I can
unfinished.
see that.
And
Yeah, but you're the
yeah,
guy that makes the videos that I watch and I fail at. So
yeah, right. And you're like, oh, this looks easy. Yeah,
yeah,
anybody can
Cody
do
can do
this.
it.
If he
That's
can do it, I
easy.
can do
Like,
it.
oh man. Well,
Yeah.
cool, man. I got nothing else for you. Nothing crazy exciting.
Yeah,
But
I can just nerd out on some more guidelines if you want.
yeah,
I
no,
know that's what
I
everybody
think
wants to
we're good
hear.
with the one. Like, let's save it. Let's save it for next week. But
Yeah.
it was good to see you. Yeah, if you guys haven't
Yeah, you
paid
too.
attention yet, you should pay attention, not stay attention, but pay attention to Venture with Joe and Cody on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. What else are we on? YouTube, all that sort of stuff. And I'm actually going to
Yeah.
start putting I didn't even know this. Our Venture, I was just posting our Venture podcast on YouTube, and I should have looked, but it's all audio. And so now I'm uploading the video of
Ah,
those things. So people can see our
yeah,
pretty faces, more importantly, see the pretty faces of our guests who are generally better looking than us and more exciting
absolutely.
than us. But yeah, those are going
Yeah.
to come up too on our YouTube page. So
Guests with hair.
if you haven't done it, yes, sign up and sign up on any of that stuff with our Venture with Joe and Cody. And if you want to be on it and join us, if you're a business owner, if you're a community member, what else? We'll take anyone that wants to
Yeah.
talk.
If you've got a great
Interesting,
story.
got a great story. We'd love to have you on. So if you
Yeah.
want to be on, let us know. But
Yeah.
that's
Or
my
maybe
spiel.
like some IT people. Give me some tech help with my
That's
microphone. We'll
actually a good
take that.
idea.
We
It's a
can
good
troubleshoot
idea.
it on the episode.
Yeah, they'll just judge us of how bad we do with our IT
Yeah,
stuff.
right. That's fair enough.
Yeah, okay. Okay, man. Well, it was good to see you,
Sweet.
and we'll talk to you
All right,
next
you
week.
too. Sounds good.
Okay, see ya.